So, yo, guys, what is up? Welcome back to the podcast. This is a Let's Talk About It podcast, and I am your host, Cosmic Newman Sensors. First and foremost, I just want to say a pleasant good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night to you, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you. I do hope you're all having an amazing time presently within this present moment and to come. All right. So, before we get into the topic, however, we just recently celebrated Mother's Day, so I want to take the time out to send a happy belated Mother's Day to all the beautiful and amazing mothers of the world. We love each and every one of you. Without you guys, the continuation of life would not be possible, So I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you for all your hard work and dedication. Even if you never did any of the youth life or whatever, for you give birth to the youth, you never did discard him, as about the fetus or whatever. From your bring forth life, I just want to say, I hope you had an amazing Mother's Day. All right? And we're thankful for you, especially my mother. Yo, I love you to the moon and back. Like, thanks for everything we ever do for me. All right? Now, on today's episode of Let's Talk About It, we'll be delving a bit into, not a bit, we'll just be trying to cover the topic of mental illness and the importance of having good mental health. So given that we are from Jamaica, them say, all right, then the bad slave, them come at Jamaica, so, Jamaica people, them supposed to rough, you understand? Well, rough a certain way, But the truth is, a lot of us are suffering from a lot of different mental illness. A lot of us are really suffering from some either one form or the other of mental illness, right? And I just want to point some things out in that has been happening in society, right? A lot of people, as I've said, we just celebrated Mother's Day, big up to the mother them. But I know a lot of mothers who are only mothers because, they give birth to a child, but the way they treat the child is very distasteful and very inhumane, Mothers be telling their children to, go look man, forget whatever you want, and this and that. Father put out, son out a yard, and, instead of being a father figure, a stern figure in the life of this youth or this child, you put them out. You cast them out among the wolves. But the point that I'm trying to make from all of this is that you have to understand that psychological trauma travels with people over an extended period of time, if not throughout their whole entire life. So when we look in society, right now, and we see all different type of youths behave all different type of way, whether it be gunman, raper, killer, you name it, whatever, right? There's a root cause behind these things sometimes. And sometimes it stems from the parents, because the parents themselves have unresolved trauma from their childhood or some past experience in their life, and they pass it on to the child. Give them some go to hell lick and say, oh, I correct them. You understand? When there's actually a thin line between discipline and abuse, So a lot of us be saying that we are disciplining the children. I'm not saying you shouldn't school your children. You most definitely should, because the Bible itself tell you, if you beat a child, he shall not die. You understand? But he shall be reproved from, the faulty ways. And it also says that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. But there's a difference between abuse and discipline. And that has been a fine line for the longest of time that a lot of people have failed to acknowledge. Let's talk about mental illness for a second. Go sleep, baby. See it? let's talk about mental illness for a second before we even get to the children, really, right? I have a cousin, right? I'm not gonna say his name, and I have a grandfather, right? My grandfather has been through some stuff in life. He has obviously made some very bad decisions, some dumb decisions. And the place where he is now in life is like every day the man get up on a cuss. That's say the man is a madman. You understand? To owe him get up on a cuss every day. See? These things are things that are prevalent in society. There's a lot of this in society. Him get up on him cuss every day and everybody else's fault. You understand? The things them will reach him. He don't have no sense of taking any responsibility. You know? So his trauma traveled with him, but it didn't just travel with him and remain, you know, in a dormant or a inconsistent fashion. It overtake him. So you can basically say mad. You know, I have another cousin too I have a cousin actually, not another cousin, only one that this happened to. He was a chef, and I guess, well, the story is that he was a very talented chef, you know, so people bad mind him culinary skills and they mess him up. See? That is also a form of mental illness, you know, that was placed upon him. But think about the psychology, right, of the other person who actually conceptualize the thought of doing this to another person just because this person was, i.e., more talented than he or she, right? What kind of mental capacity does this person have? You're very dark and negative, right? So there's a lot of mental illness in society. As I've said, mothers telling them daughter to go look man, forget what them want and stress them out and come out of their house and this, that, and the third. You understand? Children who fight them own demons, and parents act as if, you know, children now go through nothing when they actually go through stuff. I was a child myself, you know. They actually do go through stuff, and most of the time it come back out in them being rebellious. It come back out with them being depressed. It come back out with them being suicidal. It comes back out in so many different ways. I'm not saying that mental illness is the cause of every bad behavior in children. No, some people are just rude, but there are a lot of people who are going through things, you know, and we can't act as if that, you know, these people are not really passing through anything. You know, there are a lot of people who are actually going through things. Excuse me. Right? And I've said that to say this. I realize that in Jamaica, the man will pull the trigger and the man will get shot, right, will actually make the headlines more than a child that committed suicide. You know, you hardly hear about these things in Jamaica. And it's not like they're not happening, but they're not highlighted. I don't know if it is because of wanting to have a certain amount of respect for the parents or the family of the children or whatever it is. But it is an issue. You know, I saw a video. If I can find it, I will add it in. But there was a video with this young youth. I think he was in London or something like that, but he was from Jamaica. And he made a video speaking directly to the parents that, you know, they should know how to treat their children. You know, they should know how to treat their children. And I think his dad was a licensed firearm holder, and he got a hold of his father's firearm and he killed himself. You know, there was another child here in Portland that I think she's from Drapers. She also committed suicide. You know, there was a kid. I don't remember which university it was, but he actually hung himself on the university premises. So suicide is actually a thing here in Jamaica, right? There's a lot of things going on. Even Recently there was a youth in the media. Well, he was not in the media. There was a story of this guy in the media. He was 20 years old. He's from Dallas, Texas. You know, his name was Suzanne Greer, right? And he sent his mom a text that email that he was gonna kill himself. You know, so obviously he was passing through some psychological trauma or something. So what I'm saying is this: parents, please find a better alternative when dealing with the children, right? Remember, they are tomorrow, you are today, right? And if you wound your soul today, it will remain wounded tomorrow, and it might fester into a sore, and that sore might be a plague to the society at large. Hence your gunman, hence your thief, hence your this, hence your that, right? And please do not twist my words for evil either, because I am fully aware that whether or not you do whatever, there will be certain elements in society that's the same way, but it does not have to be your child. It does not. And another thing that are leading these children to do the things that they're doing is the pressure that has been placed on them, right? The pressure that has been placed on them. None of you before our generation has ever wondered why was it necessary for you to go to school. You know, I recently saw a video with a youth that went to college or university actually, and he said that he was working at a car wash. You know, I'll find the video and insert it. But he was working at a car wash. And he said that he sent out how much job application and nothing came through from 2008 until now. You know how long that is? I'm not saying that you should not go to school, you know. But how about putting the kids onto some stuff that is actually beneficial for them? Invest in books. It's the same thing that they do in school. This is not the Nagamadi, however. This is biblical stuff. But invest in books. Get them books. Get them integrated in reading. They say reading is fundamental, you know. Get them integrated in reading. Get them some business books and, you know, books that can benefit them. Understanding the stock market. You understand? Small business startups. Lead them to the path of becoming an entrepreneur. Right? Not stressing themselves out to become a doctor because mommy or daddy wanted to become a doctor and mommy and daddy couldn't become a doctor because of this or because of that. So now I have to carry this mantle. No, you do not. As you, the parents, was born for your purpose, so they're here for their own purpose. Right? So allow them to step into their own purpose and fulfill their own potential. Don't place too much expectation or too much burden upon them. Lead them, correct them, teach them, yes, but allow them to fulfill their potential. They're here for a reason also. And that reason is not to fulfill your broken or your dead dream. A lot of people go to school for many years, right? For many years, and they're not happy in school, right? And when they do graduate, and if they should come out, however, and God somehow get the job that they studied within that field, they're not even happy within the jobs. They might be making money, yes, but they're not happy. So it's a world where, you know, people choose money over happiness, money over sanity, money over everything. You know, and that in and of itself is a form of mental illness. Mental illness. You should do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. You have a creative mind. You should not be encouraging your children to live in someone else's idea. Right? All these school systems, it was not really created to educate you guys on certain level, you know. That's what it reached to now. But even your education is specifically tailored to a certain niche. And that niche is for you to go to school for a number of years accumulate a certain amount of debt, or the bank a certain amount of debt for student loans, for tuition, and all these different expenses within school, within college and university. Then come out and work as a battery to the system, right? Work as a battery to the system. You go and get a 9 to 5. And in this 9 to 5, you're not even happy. Of which, if you moved along the line of becoming an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, it is difficult, but at least you're your own boss. You do what you want to do. Suppose you like music. Write some song, build some beat. Invest yourself within the area that you have love for, right? And it's the thing that you love, you actually become successful in doing. Suppose you're a good painter, right? Suppose you are a builder and you're going to study for turn chef, or you're going to study for turn lawyer or doctor. You're not going to happy. And I can say this for a fact because I know people who are millionaires, if not billionaires, right? Well, not physically know them, but I've seen videos and documentaries with people who are already successful, and they're telling you that the path that they took to become successful and to fulfill other people's dream, it was not worth it at the end of the day. So what are we imposing on our children? What are we imposing? We are building broken people. We are breaking them from young, and when they get older, they remain broken. So children, it is wise to follow the guidance of your parents, but dream your own dream. I'm not going to tell you to follow after your heart, because sometimes your heart is illogical, and the heart is not the place where love really exists as people would have you think, But they say that it is a seat of love. That's what they say, right? But be logical, be real. You're only going to make it doing something that you love, right? And on the other side now, dealing with the whole discipline aspect of things. Parents, I'm not saying not to school your children, but there's a difference between abuse and discipline, right? Me see people take big stone, fling off of them pitney, fling pot and pot cover for them pitney, burn up them pitney uniform and all kind of something, because them say, oh, pitney bad, oh, pitney this, oh, pitney that. Right? That is not the way. That could never be the way. That could never be the way. And not only that children have to deal with these things within the house, but when they're in school, I can tell you that certain things never really happened to me in a school still. You understand? Because I was small, but there was a fire within this soul. I was David, right? But I can tell you from experience and witnessing certain things within school, especially high school. High school is either going to make you or break you, right? It is either going to make you or break you, because there's always somebody who have a lot of unresolved trauma in their life, and they feel as if they are this big bad bully, right? So not only does some children have to go home and face certain things, they face it at school as well. And if they have nowhere to turn for rest, guess what's going to happen? Is either the daughters them are going to find some man to comfort them, and them are going to end up with belly and all kind of something before time, right? The son them are going to join up in a gang like I did, right? And probably end up in a jail or dead before time. Or them are going to become depressed when there's no means of escape, there's no medium of escaping what is taking place. And from that depression, they can fall to suicide. They can become suicidal, right? So this is a very serious thing. It is a very serious and important thing. We have to pay attention to the children then, because they are tomorrow, we are now, right? So if we can do at least 10% better, align them in the right path. Get them some book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon. Get them hooked on learning. And not just that, have them read some philosophical writing as well. Get them within the Bible. Introduce them to Jesus Christ. I had to plug that right there, you understand? If you're not yet saved, or if, you have not yet committed yourself unto the Lord Jesus Christ, I do implore you to do so, right? I do implore you to do so. Okay? But, get them to basically turn, you understand, to see what they are worth instead of, and there's another thing also. If there are any kids listening right now, and I do hope that children are listening, right? Because this is made and tailored specifically to help people like yourself, right? But you see, social media, don't follow up social media. Don't compare yourself to nobody, right? Your nose could have big like so, and your ears them could have big like so. One your eye them could have done your so. You see this thing here, so them call a fingerprint? There are 8.4 billion people, statistically, on the planet, right? And there's no one else that has this, which is my fingerprint. So when you look at your fingerprint, just look at it and say, damn, I am really unique because nobody else has this. So if nobody else has this that I have, there are qualities that you have also that nobody else possesses. Nobody else possesses those qualities but yourself. Only you have those qualities. You're unique, you're special in your own way. And this world, even though I will not be encouraging people to go and conform to this world or to, to merge themselves with this world, because this world is a lie anyway. Everything that you see before you is a lie. So don't follow social media. Do not compare yourself to anybody because you are unique and you are special in your own way. There's only one you. Even if you have a twin, there's only one you. So love yourself. Appreciate yourself. Tell yourself that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't measure yourself with nobody at all. Don't measure yourself with nobody. There's only one you. You're special. You're loved. You're wanted. Right? And if I'm going to go through a list shortly of some people who, committed suicide. But I'm saying this right now. If there's any children out there right now thinking of committing suicide, children, adolescent, adult, right? Feeling like you have absolutely nobody to talk to, I implore and I beg you, please reconsider it, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Suicide, death, it won't solve anything. Death will come eventually. It doesn't make sense to rush it, So if you would like somebody to talk to, I am willing to open myself up, So if you are on Instagram, you can add me at Numenoid369. That's Numenoid. You're seeing it on the screen right now. 369, right? Just add me, drop me a DM, and we can communicate, right? Let's see if we can talk over certain things and resolve whatever is unresolved. Parents, the same go for you as well. You can reach out, we can reason, right? If you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. All I'm asking is for you to just consider doing something different for the sake of the child. Consider doing something different or getting help for your own sake. We have been led down a path of lie, by both. And I do believe in Jesus Christ. And let me just state it. Jesus Christ does not really have much to do with religion or the religious system or how they taught that to us in the first place. Right? But we have been led down a very dark path and a path of lie by politicians, religious leaders, right? And even community leaders. People who you think supposed to be for your well-being or want to see your good, right? At their own alternate agenda, their own alternate motives, right? So it's time to reclaim your mind from certain things, because as Bob Marley said, right? Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind, right? You have to emancipate your mind, liberate your mind from the things that you were programmed before. Just think about it for a second. You are living in somebody else's idea, whether you want to admit it, yes or no. If you drive a car, that is somebody else's idea. Not their idea that you would own a car, but it was their idea to create a car. If you live within a house, the design was somebody else's idea, the blueprint. If you use a fridge, somebody came up with that concept. If you watch TV, somebody come up with that concept. Right? Whatever you can think to do, somebody come up with that concept. Go sleep, babe, sleep. My son, come here. Somebody came up with that concept. So if other people can come up with that concept, why not liberate your own mind and see what you can add to what is already there? You are unique, you are special. You have something to offer just as these people did. So please don't go out and commit suicide or, let's just see how best we can fix these issues within society. Right? Now, I want to share something. All right, so this is from Wikipedia, right? And this is titled List of Suicides that have been attributed to bullying. Right? Let's see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. All right. And I'm going to go down the list. Right? All right. So this is from back in the day up to now, And this is just to say, you know what? This suicide thing, it not really worth it. It don't worth it at the end of the day, because if you're a mystical or metaphysical person, you know that if you create suicide, there's a whatever you're running from is gonna be worse on the other side. If you choose to believe, what I'm saying, you don't have to believe this, because I am a person who has been studying certain things for a very long time. I believe in the afterlife. I believe in the spiritual realm. I believe in the ethereal aspect of things. I believe in the living Father. I believe in Jesus Christ. But that's just me, right? And I can share the knowledge that I have acquired over an extended period of time, and I can tell you for a fact, you don't want to go the route of suicide. No, you don't want to do that. All right? But there are some people who have committed suicide that I wish to share the list with you, as I've said before. All right, so the first one is William Arthur Gibbs, right? He was born in 1865 and he died in 1877. He said it was a boarder at Christ Hospital School in Sussex who died from suicide by hanging on the 4th of May 1877 at age 12, right? After being bullied and beaten, this caused an outcry, and the government subsequently held an official inquiry. Right? So, the next one too, somehow, little you just the same way. The other day, I see a video where them a beat up a girl, a box up and beat up a girl, and after that, R.I.P. I see them a say about her on social media. Right? She was so humiliated, she couldn't go no further with it. She killed herself. You see me? She killed herself. So to you bully out there, everyone on the so-called bully, right? I know so no have unresolved trauma that's the same way, you know. And I feel like something need to be done or something need to be put into place, you know, for help troubled youths like yourself. Because you know cause a lot of damage. A lot of damage. There was a youth in St. Thomas called Duppy Flim. When him lick a bit because him did lick a bit, them take step time, them do him all kind of something because him couldn't talk and them thing there. You understand? And when him get big, you know what him do? Oh, me big now, me strong now. Guess what? I dead. Some people are got dead because he was broken from early. But our society sees the monster that this person has become. Nobody look to the root cause of everything, you know. Nobody no care about the root cause. You understand? Because when them grow and them turn bad man, you know, police come and shoot them down and that. But at the end of the day, you shoot down one, but 10 more spring up over there, so. So how you going to tackle that? You can't kill the whole of them, you know. You can't kill the whole of them. So you have to get them from them young, get to the youths them from them young, right? Get to the youths them from them young. See? And if he's a bully, or if you know he's a bully, at school or anywhere, or because you might stronger than a one or bigger than a one, you take advantage of people. May I implore you, may I beg you, stop. Stop. You know, see if you can get some help. Me know say, if me say yo, if you thump a one in them face, then we thump you back in a face. Here we go on. Violence only beget violence, you know. But sometimes are the only language that some people understand. But at the same time, dealing with mental health issues like we are talking about now, me can't encourage a one to go thump back a one in them face. Me I say somebody older, somebody bigger for step in and see how best them can resolve whatever is to be resolved. You see. So the next one is Kelly Yeomans, right? And she was born 1984 and she died 1997, age 13. An English schoolgirl from Derby, suburb of Allenton, became widespread news when the cause was blamed on bullying to which she had been subjected to by other local children. She was reported to be the victim of repeated harassment and taunting, particularly about her weight. Matters came to a head in September 1997 when a group of youths reportedly gathered at Yeoman's house on several consecutive mean back to back. So yesterday night, tonight, tomorrow night, the other night, right? Several consecutive nights. On each occasion, throwing food at the house and shouting taunts aimed at Yeomans, Yeomans, right? This prompted Yeomans to tell her family, I've had enough and I'm going to take an overdose. 5 youths between the age of 13 and 17 were convicted of intentional harassing this young girl in months leading up to her death, right? All of these are stories of suicide, right? I'm just going to list the names of children. Parents, this is to you, right? This is to the parents of not just Jamaica, but wherever you're watching this from in the world, right? Whatever continent you're in, whatever country you're in, whatever time zone, right? Let's see what we can do different to protect the children, all right? The other one was Jared High, right? He was 13. Cause of his suicide was also bullied. The other one is April Himes, also 13, right? Cause of her suicide was also bullying. She hung herself, right? The other one is Hamad Nasta, right? He's Middle Eastern. He was 14, right? He jumped from a bridge in London because of bullying. The other one is Dawn Marie Wesley, age 14, Canadian high school student who died from suicide by hanging due to bullying, right? Nicola Nicola Han Raphael, age 15, high school student who died by suicide via an overdose of coproximal due to bullying, right? And the list go on and on and on and on. As I've said before, I have created this platform to reach those who are willing to listen, right? To reach those who are willing to listen. And this mental health issue is a real epidemic. You know, everybody out here worrying about the big C and all these different type of things. But at the end of the day, the youths are going unattended and unaccounted. I have seen a few articles on Loop News where a few pitney missing just to see him in Jamaica. And it's like, and a big deal. Like, seriously. I mean, I hear nobody talk about him here. Everybody talk about everything else, but nobody talking about that. Seeing? We see the facts say, yo, them bad sometime. Like, why she run away from her yard and gone? Seeing? Why would she run away from her yard? Because she bad. Seeing? Catch her. See if you can get her some help. Put her in her homes if she uncontrollable. Give her to the government if she's out of control. Right? And if that fail, then when she turn out to be whatever she turn out to be later on, at least you know, say they try. But if you sit down and watch them destroy themselves at a young age and do nothing at all for help, then you're just as bad because you're very much implicated in what they're going to become later on. Because you stood by silent while they were being destroyed. And you know the thing is, sometimes it's really hard to come back from certain things. It's really, really hard. You know? So, that is it, guys, for this episode of the podcast. I just want to say a very big thank you for everybody who, you know, stuck with it until this part. This is the Let's Talk About It podcast, and I am your host, Cosmic Newman, a census. Please go over to my Instagram page, for the love of God, and follow me, right? Comment down below and let me know what are your thoughts on what is taking place, you know, on depression, on mental illness, on suicide, right? On depression. Let me know what are your thoughts and give some suggestion like, how can we remedy this problem? You understand? What can we do different as parents? You know, because I can speak on this issue because I am from a background where, you know, my parents did not really understand the difference between discipline and abuse, right? But, you know, luckily I am one of the lucky ones who came out on the other end enlightened in certain ways. Go sleep. Who came out on the other end enlightened in certain ways. You know, and I am just thankful to the living Father, the Father of the our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for that. You know, He really intervened in my life and showed me that I have a greater purpose and I am here to serve that purpose, which is why I create this platform here, you know. So I just want to say thank you guys again for stopping by. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. If you have not commented as yet, go and comment. If you have not pressed like as yet, please press like. And yeah, I'm your host, Cosmic Newman, a census, and this has been the first installment of the Let's Talk About It podcast. All right. So, peace, guys.